There are many things to think of as you are deciding to go through the transplant process. There are benefits to transplant as well as challenges. I will share both of them with you. After a kidney transplant, we want you to drink water and a lot of it. We want those kidneys to work, and more water you drink, the better the chance of success. Now let's talk about some of the challenges you will be facing in kidney transplantation. Probably the most important one is that there is a long waiting list for a kidney transplant, and thus your wait time for a new kidney may be long. The wait depends on many factors. Some of those factors are age, sex, height, weight, blood type, cross-match, and antibody presence. We will examine some of those more closely in just a few minutes. Let's discuss what testing you as the recipient has to do to receive your kidney transplant. This testing may vary by transplant center, so make sure you ask your center what you're required to do. A basic evaluation usually includes lab tests to determine your blood type, infectious diseases, as well as your genetic markers. A chest X-ray and an EKG will be done. A tuberculosis test will be performed. Kidney ultrasound will also need to be done as well. Later, you will be seeing the transplant surgeon who will help to determine your surgical, medical, and immunologic risk. At this point, the surgeon and/or the nephrologist may recommend additional testing. A selection committee is made up of your transplant team. Usually, it consists of your transplant coordinator, the surgeon, the nephrologist, the social worker, dietitian, and possibly even a financial coordinator. If you are determined to be an acceptable risk for surgery and a good candidate for transplant, your name will be listed in the United Network for Organ Sharing database. UNOS, as we call it, is like the transplant god. They house all of the information on every single organ transplant candidate, as well as each donor that comes in, so they can match the best organ to the best candidate. Once you're listed, I've already told you that your name goes into the UNOS database. When a deceased donor becomes available, the organ procurement agency at the hospital enters the donor's information into the UNOS database. Once entered, the database generates a list of possible recipients and begins notification of the recipients or your transplant center. Your coordinator may ask you a series of questions. First, are you healthy? This means, do you have the flu, a cold? Are you just getting over an illness? Anything you think of that would compromise your immune system, they need to know about it. Second, they may want to know if you are taking a blood thinner such as Plavix, heparin, Coumadin, or Lovenox. Also, they may ask if you have had any recent testing the center doesn't know about. This may be like an updated echocardiogram or chest X-ray, for example. If so, please tell them so that they may get the results. Lastly, they may want to know if you have had any recent blood transfusions.